Here we go, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Polapoid, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Hyper 1. It is threepoint. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player, the blue Protoss, representing himself. It is ReBellioN. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It's time to get your Gamba going. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck. Coming into this, as I mentioned before, threepoint is still the favored player, but ReBellioN can definitely hold his own. And I want to believe he can bring it to threepoint here, as we are loading into a 4-player map. Now, very quickly, I got you. We'll fix this up. There we go. Just fixing up the UI. And we do have a hatch first build here at a threepoint. Likewise, going for a drone scout. Oh, never mind. Going straight for his third. Rushing straight into his third expansion. This third is very interesting. It's actually very exposed in a way. Technically, it's on high ground. I believe this area is like a little hill with a point of elevation on both sides, but at the same time, still very wide open, still very exposed. A very interesting expansion choice here by threepoint. Expanding towards the south. Overlords are moving out, and threepoint still trying to get a read on where exactly ReBellioN has spawned in. Bearing in mind, ReBellioN did spawn in as the SE2 Protoss. Is going for a 2-gate opener. Very interesting. So it's going to be a gate, cyber, gate opener here by ReBellioN. With this, his expansion is going to be later, but ReBellioN has access to much earlier Adept Harass. The Probe Scout does confirm. ReBellioN, he does get eyes on the hatchery setup. This is 4 hatch before pool. Jesus. Oh my god. 4 hatch before pool is wild. Very greedy. No gases. Late spawning pool here by threepoint. And can ReBellioN punish this? I think he can. Oh boy. Now, this isn't necessarily a standard build by threepoint. I believe he only went for this because he was hoping that ReBellioN would have a late scout. But Overlord does confirm both gateways are done and the adepts are being chronoed. So it's going to be on threepoint to defend. A pylon has been placed to make sure that ReBellioN, he can't full wall off. He cannot full wall. He has been denied. Adepts are on the way. And ReBellioN is forcing a more awkward wall off, but there's still a wall nonetheless. This time, 2 more Evo chambers for the Zerg. Hatchery does complete. And Adepts, they do well against Lings, they do well against drones, but against buildings, less so. At threepoint, he's getting away with it. Oh, where is he? The wall is denied. Adepts, they do tip into the natural. Lings are being shut down, boys being pulled away. Well, that's a lot of Lings to work with. That is a lot of Lings massing. Ooh, another drone goes down. So far, 1 drone kill. But alas, it looks like we have enough Lings to get us surrounded to shut down these Adepts. Nice positioning though. Getting another drone. Slipping into the main. Getting another drone kill. Getting 3. Oh, not quite getting a 4th. As it looks like the final Adept should be shut down eventually. Yeah, those Lings will clean it up. And threepoint, he gets away with his opener. Again, 4 hatch before pool. Crazy. like actually crazy. But he gets away with it. So gases are now being taken. Sunken colony is done. We have the spore colony as well, finishing up in the natural. And back across the map, what do we have as the follow-up tech here? Ooh, it's going to be a robo and charge. Very fast charge from ReBellioN. Looks like he's setting up for a 2-base all-in. Still in position within range of the shield battery. The natural is secure for ReBellioN. 2 Adepts, they do make their way across the map. Oh, there's an Ursadon. They make their way into the mineral line. They get 2 drone kills so far. Not bad. They get 2 workers. They shade into the natural. They bypass the sunken colony. Getting into the natural. More drones falling. 4 drone kills. Very nice damage. They shade into the main. Oh, they won't quite find any more damage though. Lings, they will be able to shut this down. And they will clean up the Adepts. But remember, this is merely wave 1. The first kind of phase here of aggression for ReBellioN. He gets, I mean, what was that? 9 drone kills in total? Sorry, 7 drone kills in total. Behind this, Throwing down more gases, getting into a 6-gate setup. Temple Archives on the way for Archon, so it's going to be a charged Archon 2-base all-in for ReBellioN. And he should be secure back at home. Maybe I'm overestimating the power of the overcharge, but with the shield battery overcharge, we should be okay. I say that, that's a lot of Lings, they're going for the gateway. Yeah, the gateway is exposed. Very nice service area for the Zerg. Gets a full surround, the gateway falls. Overcharge is popped, and we'll at least maintain the natural. More Lings are flooding from across the map. Prism has arrived. Zealot Sentry trying to go for the force field, but the Lings are split up. Up! Yeah, it goes for the force field, but it doesn't really mean much here. There's just not enough Zealots. He goes for the warp in! Goes for the mass warp in. But the force field does run out, so it was a little bit wasted there. Force field is spent. Lings, they flood in. Sunken colonies are finishing up. Oh, I should say creep colonies are finishing up. Yeah, Lings get a surround, they do defend. More macro hatchery, Jesus. I mean, for those that are curious, macro hatcheries are quite necessary in Brood War just because there's no queens. There's no queens, there's no injections, so macro hatcheries are that much more impactful for the Brood War Zerg player. Another base being taken, getting a fourth. Taking extra gases, Lair is on the way. Typically we would see Ling Hydra from Zerg against Protoss, but we'll see if we head in that direction or if we head somewhere else. Fourth base is denied. ReBellioN is actually expanding, taking a bit of a later third, and is taking into Archons and Storm. I assumed it was going to be a 2-base all-in from ReBellioN, and I'm pretty sure he was hoping to deal more damage as well, but we saw that the aggression was denied, and ReBellioN has to expand. I don't think his initial plan was to expand. Meanwhile, Zealots, they warp in, they trade very nicely against these Lings, at least against the first wave. Oh, that's a kill! That's a kill, not a cancel! Let's pick off here from ReBellioN. You know, Mass Ling moving out across the map. Storm is just now finishing up. And what do we have to defend? We have a shield battery, we have an overcharge, an Archon. Soon to be some Storms. Lings, they threaten the natural. Rotate over. Archon is going to get surrounded. Oh, but alas, the warp ins, the Zealots, they denied the surround. Very nice defense here by ReBellioN. He does defend, he does clean up. With that ReBellioN, he can now counterattack. He defended his third base, no extra gases. Moving out now with how many high tempo? With 3. Soon to be 1 storm each. So 3 storms, 2 Archons, Mass Zealot. As the Protoss moves out, the Zerg is moving in. When the third base is exposed. Lings, so they force an overcharge. ReBellioN, he's pushing. Just Mass Ling to defend. No Hydras, no Lurkers. Uh-oh. Just Lings and Sunken Colonies. Yeah, Lings, they melt against this army. Lings are denied across the map, and 3-point, he's in trouble. ReBellioN is snowballing out of control. He breaks through the front lines, gets on top of the Sunken Colonies, takes down 2 of them. 2 of them do fall. There's still Storm behind this. Speaking of, yeah, zoning Storms on the Lings. That was it though. Those are all the Storms. Uh-oh. And does ReBellioN have enough to keep going? Takes down a macro hatchery at least. Does actually rotate towards another expansion. Getting onto the 4th. Does force feed behind this. Archons are trading well. Nice juggling here out of ReBellioN. Yeah, very efficient trades here against the Lings. Breaks through the side defense. Gets on top of the expansion. Looks like the hatchery is going to fall. And again, Mass Ling against Charge Archon. Like, this just shouldn't work. Nice surround though. Does catch some Zealots, but when it comes to the main army engagement, like I don't see ReBellioN losing this fight. And 3-point, he knows it. ReBellioN getting another expansion, or getting another macro hatch, I should say. He does pull away though, doesn't keep going. Could he though? I think he could. Like honestly, you can make use of these hatcheries against the Zerg player and make you like try to use the terrain in SimCity against a 3-point. Blast ReBellioN, he backs off, getting another expansion, waiting for more storms. I mean, that could be a big factor as well. Because he lost all of his High Templar, because there was no storm with the main army, he might not feel very confident. No! Hero! Lings, they flood in! The wall was not a wall, Lings, they bust into the natural. Probes are going down so fast, as these are about to be cracklings. Adrenal just finished, +3 is on the way, and Lings, they wreak havoc. Yeah, in a blink of an eye, 16 probes go down, and we're not done! We get into the main! 24 probes, oh my god! They die so quickly. 28 probes go down. And we still have Mass Ling. Here comes the main army. Soon to be 2 storms. Where's the War Prism? The main army's moving out. War Prism is in the main! Oh my god. Bold move for the War Prism not to be with the main army. Instead of the main base, going for a Zealot Archon Warp in. Denies the colonies. Massive Ling counterattack. Bearing in mind, again, these Lings cannot fight head on. They have to avoid the Archons and avoid the main fight. They're going for the 3rd instead, or for the natural. Archons busting into the main. Main army pushing in between the bases as well, in between the natural and the 3rd. And there are so many sunken colonies here at the 3rd base, so we ignore it. Instead, ReBellioN pushes into the natural. Meanwhile, Lings, they break the 3rd base. They break into the natural base. Lings are killing everything. We're going for a base trade. It's a full-on base trade at this point. And the Lings, they just kill buildings so quickly. Remember, these are 3/3 Lings. +3 and Adrenal as well. They're cracked, Papi. Lings, they melt everything. You can see Lings just flooding across the map, killing every single building, forcing a recall. And ReBellioN, he recalls back home. He's stuck in the main. He did not do enough damage. ReBellioN down to 4 workers. The Queens have arrived. They get the Ensnare. For those that are curious, Ensnare is kind of like fungal. It's kind of like fungal growth. So they can slow down the Zealots. Drones are going down. Likewise, 3-point doesn't have the best economy. He's down to 26 drones, but he has an army. The Queens have to be careful. Oh, they do actually get shut down. Nice catch. Very nice catch by ReBellioN. Does shut the Queens down. But he's all in. Like, and there's nothing behind this. What you see is what you get. And honestly, I feel like we can fight. I feel like 3-point can engage, can surround, and clean up this army. Instead, he commits to the base trade. Going for a more secure win. Oh, there's storms! Oh my god. There's a full wall, there's High Templar, there's storm. Oh, but we're baiting out the storms. A handful of Lings at a time. And we have 2 storms left. Oh. Down to 1. 1 storm remaining. That was the final storm. And now we can flood in. There we go. The floodgates are open. 3-point floods into the main. Force the defensive warp in. No shield battery, no overcharge. Across the map, 3rd base does fall. But it looks like 3-point should be able to clean up everything in the main. And again, ReBellioN was playing this out so well. Like, again, 3-point could never engage with the main army. He was losing fights, he was losing bases. So instead, base trade. Instead, forced into a base trade. ReBellioN does save 2 workers. He needs to throw no build it all. He needs to, but he isn't able to. GG. And 3-point will win via elimination. GG. Wild game. GG, well played. 3-point will take the game, but that was very impressively done by ReBellioN. In general, it felt like he was doing everything right. He was doing everything well, but there was that one moment. There was that one moment where ReBellioN left his wall open, left his natural open, and Lings flooded in. What was it, 28 probe kills? Like 28 workers went down. It was insane damage that 3-point had dealt with that Ling run by. That was kind of the beginning of the end for ReBellioN. On top of that, you could definitely argue that with the first move out, ReBellioN could have kept going. He didn't have to come back home, but I do think that maybe he was just a little bit concerned about the lack of High Templar and lack of warp and the lack of storms to support his army, so he wasn't feeling too confident. You could argue that maybe he could have, if he had more confidence, he could have kept going, could have kept pushing, and might have been able to end the game then and there. Regardless, went for a later game, which I don't think was a bad call. I do think that, I mean, he was still in a better position going into a later game If only he was able to preserve his economy and able to, you know, deny the Ling run bys. Again, ReBellioN doing his best hero impression, and it did kill him in the end. Smurge, back to Smurge. Oh. With that GG well played, we are getting into game number 2. Getting into that second game, and now the roles have been reversed. Now we do have ReBellioN picking the Brood War race, and threepoint is going to be forced to switch to SC2. We go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Alkyone. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, representing himself, currently teamless, rocking that Brood War Protoss race. It is ReBellioN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Zerg player, the SC2 Zerg, representing Team Hyper 1. It is threepoint. Shout out to Enki. El Hermoso, papi, El Hermoso. Enki is our lovely Spanish caster. Shout out to Dave Tesla, casting in English as well. I believe we have Top, aka Kiwian, casting in South Korean. And I believe we have Cyan, casting in Portuguese, in Brazilian, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Portuguese. As for now, we do have ReBellioN going for a cannon rush. Okay, a Nexus into Forge. Very interesting. A very unique variation of cannon rush. It's an economic cannon rush. Bear that in mind. The probe moves out. We do have the pylon being thrown down in the main. And threepoint is opening up. Once again, it looks to be 4 hatch before pool. Oh no! But the wall-off is denied just by accident even. The wall-off is denied, boys are being pulled, and the pylons are being shut down. Cannon rush is attempted, but yeah, the drones, they can head to the low ground. Cannon is on the way. Cannon is being targeted down. And this was just some unfortunate execution for ReBellioN. The cannons are denied, and threepoint is fine. He's perfectly fine from here. This cannon should never finish. Yeah, plenty of workers in position. And it's just, it's not looking too good, back. Not looking too good. Again, the drones are on patrol, and from here we can just freely drone up. Spawning pool is being thrown down. It was a 3 hatch before pool, not 4 this time. But at this point, ReBellioN has to transition back at home. Now, thankfully, as a reminder, this was an economic cannon rush. It was Nexus before Forge. So because of that, ReBellioN, he can still head towards a longer game state, but this was a big investment. This is a big investment already. 161 minerals in the drain, as well as these 2 pylons and 200 more minerals. So this was he's going again, and threepoint doesn't see. No shot. No shot. We have cannons on the way. We have gateways as well. We have the delayed cannon rush, and threepoint, he did not shut down these pylons. Queens are on the way, Lings are on the way. Now the cannons are revealed. Spine crawlers being thrown down to respond. Now the spine crawlers are within range of the gateway. Bear that in mind. And soon the pylon as well. So yeah, the gateway is cancelled. And the cannons, they're within range of some of the patches. At least some of the mineral patches. It's a bit of an awkward moment where, I mean, they're denying mining on half of the natural, but they can just transfer over towards the third. And with the completion of the spine crawlers, yeah, only one spine crawler, and you can position yourself in such a way to be within range of the pylon and be out of range of the cannons, I believe. Yeah. Oh. So with this is going to be cleaned up, and this cannon rush, I appreciate the initiative of going for like a follow-up cannon rush, but it wasn't as successful. Oof, doesn't quite get any workers. And at the same time, threepoint is going for the gold. Is going for going for the gold expansion. Across the map, ReBellioN taking his own third, getting into +1, Dragoon production, cannons as well. And threepoint has cleaned this up. Behind this, going for a Bay, and ReBellioN is rushing into Reavers. So it's going to be a Reaver response. For those who are maybe unfamiliar, Reavers are kind of like the Brood War variation of Disruptor, but they're quite different. Reavers, their shots do lock on. Scarab shots, they're quite intense because of that. But the Reaver itself is a lot less mobile, which is why usually they coincide with shuttles. So it's going to be a Reaver drop with shuttles. Shuttle speed is on the way, not to be confused with War Prison speed. Same thing though, in a way. And here comes the first Reaver. First Reaver is on the way. And Scarab shots are terrifying. They can pop off. They can pop off. Likewise, Scarabs are similar to Interceptors for carriers, where you have to actually build and pay for each individual Scarab, for each individual, like, shot. Bear that in mind as well. So it's very different to, you know, the Disruptor in that sense. And we have our first Reaver ready to move out. Shuttle speed is almost done. Charge on the way behind this, going into a gateway-based composition. And interesting, we're moving out only with a single Reaver. Just a singular Reaver drop towards the gold. Gold base is up. Drop is coming in. Oh, shot goes off. Getting 4 drones instantly. 4 drones go down. 6 drones go down. Ooh, and a shot on the lead. The shuttle gets very low, but does survive. Shuttle does live. Reaver getting a queen. Bearing in mind that unlike the War Prism, there's no kind of like pickup range. You have to be on top of the unit to pick up like a medevac. So the shuttle is quite vulnerable. But so far so good. Getting Lings, a queen, 8 workers. Going for another queen. Up. Flush transfuse. ReBellioN will get away. And behind this, getting into Storm. So it's going to be Storm, Archons to support alongside the Reaver. It's going to be a very complex army here for ReBellioN. He's still kind of building up and still getting to the swing of things. Likewise, threepoint may have lost a little workers, but he had to, because look at threepoint's economy. 88 drones. That's insane. 88 workers for threepoint. He has been heavily droning, plus a gold base. His economy is booming, and threepoint will soon max out. Doesn't look like it, but now that he's reached 88 workers, now he can focus on army production. He can focus on Ling Hydra Lurker. As the Lurker den is on the way, should say Hydra Lurker Viper even, as the Hive is on the way as well, is in production. So threepoint is about to reach his final form, and ReBellioN is still building up. There's a lot of potential in ReBellion's army, but size-wise, he's still not quite there. He's taking a 4th as we speak, but honestly, ReBellioN is going to be the defender. Threepoint will have map control. And threepoint, I mean, his win condition can be just deny the 5th, and maybe even just lay siege upon the 4th. We'll see if ReBellioN can turtle and defend and survive. Until he can be the one that breaks out. This move out it's a bold move. Lurker production is already underway. 4 lurkers on the way. Only 4 though. Threepoint is yet to hit critical mass. He's not there yet. ReBellioN will push, clearing up some creep. Reaver's behind this. Reaver shots going off. Storms on the Hydras. Oh, but the High Templar are exposed. Going for another storm. Reaver shots a little bit lackluster, but the storms are solid. But again, we're running out of storms. I think there's 1 storm left. The final storm gets thrown down. But the Hydras, they take the storms to the face, and the Dragoons are breaking through. The Reavers are out of Scarabs though. And the Reavers are out of Scarabs. Not much support behind this. Speaking of, shots getting into the mineral line, getting one drone. Yeah, the concave is real. We're getting on top of the army. We need another storm. Oh, the storm does connect. Oh my god. Hydras are melting. But it looks like there's just barely not enough of a gateway army to keep going. And again, the Scouts were on A move. Their shots weren't as impactful. Now they are. Taking down a lot of Hydras. ReBellioN, he's holding his own. He's breaking through. And before threepoint can really get into lurker production, these lurkers, I was wondering, I was like, where are the lurkers? They're harassing across the map. Crazy. Going for lurker drops. And without lurkers to defend, you can see the threepoint, he's struggling. There we go. Lurkers are on the way. Archon rallies in. Yeah, we have 4 lurkers across the map. We have 1 for each mineral line. 1 of the lurkers went down. Yeah, Ling Hydra's flooding in. And threepoint looks like with reinforcements, he will be able to clean this up. I say that. It's still quite close. Lurkers have arrived. Ooh. Lurkers tanking shots. Hydras, they stutter step forward. They take down the shuttle. A massive Reaver shot goes off. But it looks like we're running out of gateway units. And no more Reavers, no more Archons, no more High Templar. Just Dragoon Zealot left. And across the map, there's barely an economy. There's still so much denied mining time. ReBellioN did take down the expansion. If only he had his workers actually mining across the map. And he races back home. ReBellioN, he races back home. These lurker drops, they were worth it in the end. But that was still a very intense fight. And if it wasn't for these lurkers, maybe ReBellioN could have kept going. He would have had, I mean, better production and better economy behind this. Lurkers are cleaned up. Nidus Swarm's on the way. Lurker upgrades are finishing. And now the main army is being refined with more lurkers. Again, threepoint, he was at his weakest point in that fight when he was mid-transition. But now he's almost there. Almost. Lurkers are exposed. 3 of them getting caught out. Nice catch. 2 lurkers are denied. Oof. But where's the storm? High Templar are on the way. There's a lot of High Templar coming in. Filing on forward. As we saw as well, unlike in SE2, whenever a High Templar moves forward to storm, they're more exposed as there is no kind of war prism to save them. So transfer it down. There's no prism to like juggle back some of these high-tech units. Behind this, lurker count is building up. Ooh, and we have drop lords on the way. Going for a doom drop. Threepoint, calm down. Setting up for a mass lurker, even some Ling's doom drop across the map. Meanwhile, we see ReBellioN taking the gold. Now, threepoint is maxed. He's maxed out. He's at 89 workers. ReBellioN is still building up. His goal here is to defend. But can he? Does morph in the Dark Archon. Let's go. It's time to... What's the spell? Not neural, but you know what I mean. It's time to make our own Zerg army. Kappa. We have Lurker Hydra towards the left. Pushing into the natural, pushing into the third. Ooh, Reaver is caught out, and a massive doom drop here in towards the main. And we do see ReBellioN getting caught out. So many workers going down across the map even. Drones are falling to storm drops. I assume storm drops? Yeah. Was storm drop across the map, but lurkers are getting to the main, and they're going for the production. Yeah, the production is under fire. ReBellioN trying to walk up the ramp into his own main base, into a mass amount of lurkers. Nidus Storm finishes up as well. And this is the kill move that threepoint was looking for. Lurker drop into Nidus. Storms are coming in. Storms are good. They do force a pickup. The lurkers go down, but Lings, they flood in. They flood in, they take down the High Templar, the Archons, the Dragoons. GG gets called. The main base is broken. And threepoint takes game 2 and the series 2-0. GG. Oh my god. Whew. GG, well played. 3 points. We'll take the series 2-0. Again, it was a very close series in the end, very intense. I'll be honest, game 1 could have gone ReBellion's way. I would have favored ReBellioN in game 1 as well. Game 1 was very intense. Even here in game 2 as well, ReBellioN was holding his own. It was only because of the lurker harass that ReBellioN was forced back and his reinforcements were stifled as well. If it wasn't for that, then maybe ReBellioN breaks through and maybe he overwhelms 3 point. In saying that, if it wasn't for the lurker drops, there would have been defensive lurkers back at home. True. The lurkers, it would have been defensive instead, and maybe would have been a different dynamic. Regardless, GG, well played. GG, well played. 3 points will take the series, will advance on to the grand finals, but a shout out to ReBellioN because he made a series out of this. It may have been a 2-0, but it was a very close 2-0. Very close series, very close games. GG. GG, well played. And now we're getting ready for the lower semis.